Alliance Wars defenders turn into revives and health potions in this weird bug. The SP3 skip button is back. Arena predictions, because I didn't do them on Wednesday, and Agatha Harkness and Quicksilver abilities overview have been revealed. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Friday. It's the end of the week. Yes, thank God. Make sure as well to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all to support the channel. And weird memes about debating, which people actually unsubscribed because of that comedy video yesterday. Yeah. I thought it was a bit of fun. People not like fun anymore? Is that what the world's coming to? But shout out to those that enjoyed that video and as well enjoy stuff on the channel. And shout out as well to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen now. And thank you very much for keeping that love and support and keeping the channel going. Also, those that support as a Twitch Prime free Twitch sub member. Also, tier 1 subs. People that give bits and those that give donations. Oh, and that person that gives a tier 2 subscription. Hello, Karma. Thanks, everybody. And I shall see you tonight. We're going to get Variant 800%ed as I took a break last night to do some Warzone, which we got win. A win. We won one match. It was good. Now we kick off the news show for Friday with the skip animation for SP3 button. You can see this is what it looks like on the screen right here, and this is now an optional thing for you to pick up in your cog, your settings section. So if you don't know how to access this, as well as the kind of support ticket function, then you just click the cog, the top left hand corner, which is basically your settings. Go down on the right hand side and you can click here, show skip 3 button, which is an optional thing. Also with beta features opt-in, that's an option as well. I personally don't do it because a lot of the time they're all bugged. But you know, there's still kind of like maybe some good reason, I'd say, in the new update to kind of click the beta features opt-in, because by then all the buggy stuff over the last 2 months have probably been sorted out. Well, fingers crossed, you hope, but it's always a bit of a lottery with it. It certainly is good news to see that button return back, and as Command Exhibit says here, it's up a bit earlier for some. It should be running more smoothly, but if you run into any issues, feel free to let us know in the bugs and known issues section. And so far seems so good with it, but only a few people have it for some sort of reason, so maybe more people are going to get this by the end of the month. But it's still good to see the button back, and fingers crossed it is in working order now. Also, in further bug news, the MSID UI common quit. Basically, the quit button doesn't always work. Now, a lot of you may not even want to kind of use the quit button, but a lot of the time if you're kind of going, oh, I'm just about to be smashed with an SP3, I'd rather not waste my time with the animation. Yeah, you can do the skip animation, but you're like, well, the enemy AI, which is terrible, by the way, is probably going to absolutely murderize me. And I'm like, hey, I want to quitterize this. It's like George Bush used to kind of like do that. Quitterize. We're going to quitterize it. It's one of his kind of like Bushisms that he used to say. Anyway, a lot of Americans were going to get that reference, but you know, but other people won't. But yeah, not disappointing, annoying to see this, and hopefully Command can just get this sorted. But to be honest, it's not really kind of a big issue. But yeah, if you see this, it's bugged, and I'm sure that Command will deal with it. It's kind of low end on the priority though. Has January been a very stale or kind of boring month? That's what a lot of people are talking about at the moment. There's been no champion buffs. There's not seems to be some kind of like surprise little arena or extra quest. And yes, the strikers have been something that's quite cool, but I think Kabam have really used this as an opportunity month to restabilize things when it comes to the game, especially having at least 2 hot fixes and a few other little kind of improvements that have been done, which has been good for them to get round to doing that. It doesn't take away with the fact that we've got a game engine that's meant to be kind of released, or new integration with the game engine released at a later point, which hopefully will give even more stability to the game and better innovation and opportunity. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there hasn't really been a huge amount going on this month. For me, I felt very differently about this month. For me, this has been an opportunity that, whilst there's been less amount of content on in different areas, like less things like challenges, there hasn't been no kind of like, I don't know, proper endgame thing, like a new type of Legends type event or special event. It's given me an opportunity to reprioritize, refocus on stuff that I want to do, which is to 100% variant 8 within 1 week. and then in the following week before we get the new update and new stuff announced for February, that I'm able to have an opportunity to do things like Act 7.2, which is something that I haven't had enough time to do. So I don't know, I'm using this as a good opportunity, but I know there are players out there that thrive around different things, that want to see things like more special objectives, which we haven't done. Normally we have like a little kind of champion thing. We had like Venom in previous months. We've had, I'm just trying to think of some of the others. But yeah, we've had like these little kind of tie-in objectives that only come in from a limited time only, and normally tie into things like the like Cavalier Crystal Shards, which you know, for this month is the anthropomorphic. But you kind of think, well, can they just kind of like put something in there to do with like a free 4-star, free 3-star, and in this case you have to do something. They did the same thing with Shang-Chi, Venom, Carnage, that kind of stuff. At the moment we have no information of what's happening next month. As soon as I get any more information I'll let you know, but this is normally the last Friday before the update, so expect a week from today at 10 AM PST an announcement of what's going on. You are not going to believe what your defenders are going to turn into in Alliance War. So you can see here, select defenders, and oh look, the defender turned into a health potion. So there you go. That's what your defense team is now. It's kind of limited to. It's a health potion, but it gets better than that. So thanks to Yish for sending this through. Look, it's now updated to a revive. Yes, a level 1 revive and a level 1 health potion. I mean, I'll take the revive, the level 1 revive all day long. I mean, the level 1 health potion. Yeah, that's actually in map 6, so so it looks like it's everywhere, people. It's happening everywhere. This looks like a weird device specific issue or weird interaction type thing. It's funny, isn't it, to see this. And now we move on to our most important story. So I don't know why Marvel Contest of Champions hasn't really announced that who the winners were of the Summoner's Choice, like the round 4. But they've put it on the forums, and I think by the time I get this video out, it should be a case like, well, that's new information. Because you look on Twitter, on the Marvel Contest Champions, and there's nothing there. They haven't announced it, haven't announced any social medias. So yeah, if you didn't know already, Agatha Harkness and Quicksilver obviously were going to win the vote. But also their abilities have been somewhat revealed. As a lot of you know, last year with Hercules and Omega Sentinel, there was the released information about the key abilities or gameplay mechanics of the champions, which has been revealed right here. So we'll go over Agatha Harkness first. So Agatha creates a magical prison on the battlefield. While inside of it, she absorbs the opponent's powers and takes them for herself. Whoa. She can then choose to spend this power to more easily defeat her opponent or take it with her to face future enemies. So a persistent charge champion that takes powers. Oh, wow, okay. She steals power from the opponent and with enough of it, gains a crossfight to symbolize the power she attained. The crossfight would potentially boost her core attributes or perhaps grant her additional abilities. Wow, okay. That's a pretty tough kind of like pitch to follow. But let's face it, Quicksilver is more than likely going to win. But I tell you what, this may shake up the voting. We had this before. Like, I know people went Hercules for a lot of this, but look, I wanted a Mega Sentinel based on the abilities versus Hercules. Yeah, I'm happy with what we got with Hercules, but at the time, this is a very good. If I was going for a sales pitch, this would interest me. So Quicksilver, on the other hand, is, well, there's not. Wow, great effort. Well, we all know from last year, the less is more. Quicksilver's name says all. He moves fast and never stops if he can help it, dashing around the opponent. They never know from where the next strike will land or when to aim an attack of their own. Well, that's going to be annoying from a defense perspective. And also the idea of like, well, does that mean that you can come from the other side of the champion? So what are we saying? We can swipe from the left-hand side and the right-hand side? That would be a new mechanic if Kabam could actually do it. And a key ability is Quicksilver uses momentum as a resource, building it up by moving and spending it to unleash powerful attacks or avoid the opponent's counter blows. Well, you know, it does what it says with the tin. That's basically what it does. It's kind of like it's a one-trick pony with Quicksilver. It's a one-dimensional character. They haven't said anything about time manipulation, which I think if Kabam had said something like, okay, well, what you can do is you can not go back in time, but what you can do is maybe set it back, like if you kind of like swipe back, you can like, I don't know, regen back to a certain point, build more kind of like health back if you're low health, which it kind of like in Bunny is that it goes really fast and time travel. I don't know. It's just coming up with something that kind of on the paper, like here, looks something a bit more appetizing than something like that, which does sound like pretty cool. Either way, let's face it, we all know how the voting is going to work. But I would just stress this. I've heard a lot of people say they may go with more tactical voting, and let's face it, if there's going to be more people that like some of the other champions coming into the game, but out of the two would more likely go Agatha Harkness, it may make for a very spicy finish to this voting. But we'll have to see. Like, I'm up for a spicy vote. I like an underdog story. I like a very yeah, just mix it up, because it's been so, again, I don't want to use the word rigged, but it's been too predictable of a voting scheme. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and those are the abilities for you to check out. Yeah. And just quickly to finish on, we have got arena predictions for Sentinel and America Chavez. And just based on what happened with Sabretooth recently in arena and the featured, I'm going with Sentinel with an 85 mil. It's a little bit more than what Sabretooth went as a result, but I kind of feel like Sentinel is a good champion, and I know people want to get it. I don't know if people will be fronting anything close to 100 mil. It'd be kind of excessive if people did, so I'll go with 85 mil for the 6-star prediction. 5-star, I'll go with 35 mil. And then America Chavez 6-star, if you've seen the news on Wednesday, I did 50 mil, 45 to 50 mil, but let's go 50 mil to be safe. And the 5-star version, 25 mil, which I think is just, again, a fair kind of like punt for that. And that's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Friday. Spicy voting later on.